Welcome to The Clean Truth, where we like to call bullshit on the status quo. What is up? Welcome back to The Clean Truth. We're back.
We're back, baby.
What was that?
We're in a new spot right now.
Where are we?
Are we in a studio?
We made a little improvements to the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is the first one in our little podcast studio. We got a little motivation from Joe Rogan and Andy Frischella and some other bigger guys who are building their state-of-the-art facilities. Ours is in the back room of our warehouse.
Yeah, but it was a team effort. We everybody pitched in, helped build the table.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
We had some family come in to help decorate.
You gonna make fun of it?
No, I'm good. Like, looks good. Table, paint,
Graffiti logo that you didn't like?
You know, I'm like 50 Shades of Grey.
Can't win her all the way done.
Yeah,
You got
it's okay.
You got a few warm fuzzies.
We wouldn't be a team if we had the same style.
It's a work in progress. We'll have a TV soon for some cool interviews. Our girl, which is a good segue into our sponsors of the show, our fake sponsors, not official. Rain Energy Drink. Brett Bauer, she hooks us up and keeps us well caffeinated and stemmed out here at the office.
The rains are unbelievable.
We got enough
It's
caffeine here.
the jalapeno strawberry one. That's the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like my new.
You have a whole case in your office just for you.
Ooh.
She's sending us a cool little light up refrigerator to stick over there, so we're well caffeinated for these podcasts.
And then
Awesome.
the drink that I just had a while ago. What was that one? That was the Gatorade.
That was a
Zero?
That was a
Monster.
Monster Hydro, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same people.
Oh, okay.
They're all
It was
intertwined.
really good. I like them.
The weekly Bust Ben's Balls segment. I don't really have anything to bust your balls about. You're kind of
Why didn't you send me the
I'm
memo?
not wearing the hat that you hate. I'm wearing
the black one with the white thing on it.
I'm wearing a Branded Bill hat.
God, one of these days, man, I'm getting a hold of that fucker. And it's gonna be burned.
Upgraded.
Show and tell. I got my little Dimebag statue here. Yesterday was the 16th anniversary of his passing. Pantera is a big influence for me, so I got the whole band in my office. But I brought him out here to keep us motivated.
Don has action figures of On. How do you feel about that?
They're like real life G.I. Joes.
Yeah. That's why they're at his office and not the house.
I'm a big kid. All right,
Trivia. Do you know what is on the back of his calf? Can you say?
The Pantera logo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Show and tell. No, truth or dare. I got a good one. What is your biggest body insecurity?
My sweaty feet, because I have hyperhidrosis. And anybody listening to this podcast, Pam, my mom, or any of our friends that have been around me know that I used to have excessive sweaty hands. Got that little nip tuck taken care of, so hands don't sweat anymore, but my feet sweat. So if you notice, I got a good shoe game. I don't wear the same shoes 2 days in a row.
Because of that?
You got to put stuff in your shoes to keep it.
Yeah, they got to air out, baby. They got.
You don't have any
I can't
powders or anything?
I can't be that guy that comes in the office with stinky feet. So that'd probably be 100% real life
Red,
insecurity.
what's your biggest body insecurity?
You know mine. Do you know mine?
Them titties?
No. My quads.
Oh.
I have big legs. So I was actually shooting, me and Marlena were shooting the other day for some content. And before I left the house, I was like, I was going over my outfit. And you're like, you're just a thick girl. You're just a thick girl. Do you remember saying that to me?
Thick is in though, right?
Yeah,
now.
thick as in, baby.
Finally.
Nobody
Damn.
likes
I've
a
been waiting my whole life.
Nobody likes a twiggy.
You got to have some meat to grab onto back there.
I got my dad's legs. My dad was a German, so, but sturdy foundation.
Mine's probably my grill. My teeth have been jacked up since I was a little kid. You remember them, the metal storage sheds from the early 80s that had the metal sliding doors on them?
Right.
Remember those? Well, we had one in my backyard. And when I think I was 3 or 4 years old, I fell and split my upper gum all the way up, into the bones of my mouth. And that's why I've got the gap in between my teeth. I've had it my entire life. So that's probably mine.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Learned something new today about Verity.
You knew that. I've told you that 100 times.
I guess I wasn't listening.
All right, the topic of today. I wanted to do a 2020 wrap up. Now, in full transparency to everybody listening, we actually did this podcast yesterday, and we went a whole nother direction with it, and it was fucking terrible. And we just decided to scrap it.
Depressing.
Like, I have to admit, when we try to tackle current events, I was telling producer Scott, who's over there not paying attention, when we try to address these kind of current events and stuff like this in like a negative light like that, it never really sounds good. Quite frankly, because that's just not our style.
I was going to say the same thing.
Like, I don't have an emotional attachment to it the way that some guys can pull that off and really get emotionally involved in it and, you know, try to get people riled up and get them, you know, psyched up, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. It's just not me. It's not my style. And, you know, I'm the kind of guy that I don't want to put anything out half-assed. So here we are again, and I'm going to put another spin on it. And, you know, for all of the bullshit that's happened in 2020, and all the negative things that we can sit here and go on and on and on about all day long and suck the energy completely out of the world, there was a lot of positive stuff that happened in 2020, and nobody ever talks about it. And rightfully so. I mean, some people don't want to talk about it. There are people who had their businesses shut down or they're still closed down from lockdowns and stuff like that. So I understand that for some people it's hard to talk about positive stuff, but I feel like if more people did it, maybe it would help other people. You know what I mean? So I've got a laundry list of shit here that I thought you and I were talking last night about things that not only with Clean Eats, but, you know, with the world and the country in general, you know, and I'm going to jump right into the Clean Eats stuff. You know, I'm not going to put us way up here on a pedestal because there was, you know, we took a hit just like everybody else, but we were very blessed and very fortunate that the Clean Eats model and the brand itself did okay. You know, we didn't grow exponentially. You know, we're not killing it by any means, but we survived COVID, and I'm very grateful for that. I think I can speak for everybody in our company that we're very grateful and very fortunate that that happened. You know, I think the most that we dropped at one point in the year was 40%, and during that whole time, but from January until now, in the beginning of December, we sold 55 licenses, franchise licenses under the brand. That's incredible during a global pandemic.
Explain because you had to teach me a while back, like explain to people when you say 40%, what that 40% means.
It means from what our gross revenue numbers were last year for 2019, we only dropped 40% from that number at one point this year. And it was for like a week, maybe 2 weeks max.
And like, you said, other people have gone way below.
Yeah, and then that bell curve started swinging back up, and we've been pretty fortunate. We've had some up weeks and down weeks, you know, but I'm very grateful, very fortunate that we have been able to sustain what we've been sustaining. And, you know, I contribute that to a million different things. You know, our franchisees, all of you guys here, just the diehard grit and determination from everybody involved, I think is what has contributed to it. And our customers, our loyal customer base. But, you know, we've had a couple Clean Eats babies happen in 2020.
Very true.
It's pretty cool. Our Myrtle Beach franchisee, she had a baby. She might kill me for this. Did she have it in September?
I think
September,
so.
October?
They all run together.
Chris and Wendy from Myrtle Beach, they had a baby girl.
Baby girl.
Our franchisee in Dothan, Alabama, she just had a baby boy 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Kyle and Natalie, they're due. Kyle used to work here at the office and has moved on to another job, but him and his wife,
yep, February.
They're doing February. And Silver Fox and Lex,
yeah, little May baby.
you guys are doing May, right?
Yep.
So
many COVID
babies, baby.
COVID babies. And Jason.
Jason Nisto. Sorry.
Had his little one he's a month old, so 4 weeks ago.
So 5 COVID babies in our
And
in our
several
brand.
of our employees, too, had little COVID babies.
That's awesome. We opened up our Salt Lake City warehouse distribution center. That was in May.
That was in May, week after Mother's Day. So that's been going good. And thank you to everyone out there and West Coast that's ordering. That's awesome. So
The other thing that we were fortunate enough to be able to have the ability to do was we hired more team members here at the headquarters.
We did.
We added Brittany, who's in the other room training right now, Bryn, who's in charge of all of our meal plans, and is kind of Yvonne's sidekick and right hand, and Noah, producer Scott's
Protege.
I was trying to think of a cool word for him, but
Protege is a cool word.
Padawan.
what is it?
Padawan.
Young
Padawan?
Padawan.
Never heard that.
I was just we got the 3 Bs, so it's Brittany, Ben, Bryn in that back room. So
It's really easy when I'm sending out like a big email through the whole company.
You hit
I
B.
just hit B and scroll down and click
Search
B, scroll down and
search
click.
B, search.
bonsai,
It's awesome.
only one
So-
girl.
Some good positive stuff has happened for Clean Eats in 2020, and I'm very grateful. Thank you, everybody who supported us, who's on our meal plans, who orders meals through Clean Eats Kitchen, who visits all of our franchise locations. Without you guys, we wouldn't be sitting here having a podcast. We'd be scrambling around and trying to figure out what our next move is. So I'm very fortunate for that.
And we got slowed down too. We had some big things that we wanted to provide for all of our Clean Eats fans and loyal customers. But a positive kick to that is that's all still coming 2021.
Sure.
So
Just on hold.
just got a little slowdown, but it didn't stop.
But I think it made
some of
us
the
take
good
our
things.
time too. So
No doubt.
the positive thing on that, yes, we didn't launch when we were supposed to, but again, I think it's going to be even better because
We just
We had to-
experienced a little bit of that today.
yeah, we had
Unbelievable.
to just slow down and take our time because that we were forced to, and I feel like the products are coming out even better than what we were going to launch with.
Like we
So-
just
I agree.
experienced an hour ago.
I
Yes.
agree totally.
Are you trying to say something, Ben?
I'm pumped. Like
It was good.
what we just experienced an hour ago with the the corporate
Pretty
staff.
good.
Awesome
It was
experience.
good.
Well, let's move on to some like general things. I mean, you and I were sitting here talking about this. Now, before I even get into this, there's going to be people that listen to this podcast and they're going to be like, yeah, that is positive, but, or yeah, that is a good thing, but. Well, there is a but we're focusing on the positive stuff today. That's the whole point of this podcast is a positive 2020 wrap up. So I got 10 pretty cool things that happened in 2020 that, I mean, unless you're just hiding under a rock, it would be hard for you to disagree with me on these. And number one, right out of the gate, is 2020 and this, COVID pandemic and every other thing that's happened, the goofy stuff around the world. It's made people have more gratitude for what they have versus what they don't have. You know what I mean? Like if
I agree.
you're
Things that we took for granted,
exactly
like going to Target.
being able to just get in your car and go to wherever. You know what I mean? Now that you haven't been able to do that for months, what is going to happen when all this is over? Because, I mean, the the pandemic is going to go away. Whether it's with a vaccine that, we can go on all day, whether you're going to take it or whether you're not. But point being, life's going to get back to normal at some point. So I think that's going to give people a little bit more gratitude for some of those things. And now that they haven't been able to do it, at least I hope so.
For sure. I mean, traveling to see family.
And
Right.
the first
Simple
time
one
you
like
sat
that.
down to eat at a restaurant again after that was like you appreciate that a little bit more. And
For sure.
I did that the other day. I told you, me and Mike Parker went out to eat, and we went into a restaurant. And, I mean, I'm just going to say it. I'm not a mask guy. I hate wearing them. I'm not going to get into the whole political reasons why, but
positive.
we went into the restaurant, and I forgot my mask. But we were parked eons away from the restaurant. And I'm like, Mike, I'm not going back in, man. If they kick us out, then we'll just have to go somewhere else and eat. He didn't have one either. We both forgot him. We walked in. Nobody said a word to us. And then when we got done eating, I was like, man, how nice was that to where you didn't have to go. You get out of your car and you shut the door and you're headed into a restaurant and you're like, shit, I forgot my
Yeah,
mask.
it's the
Now
new norm,
you got to
right?
turn around. Like little things like that nobody really even thinks about anymore because of everything that we've been dealing with.
Yep.
So I don't know. The next one is it made people think about their health and fitness and make it more of a priority than what it has been ever. I mean, how many people who never worked out immediately bought home gym equipment?
Right.
Never went to a box gym,
Or
never trained.
started doing family walks
Right.
just to have an activity.
Just got outside.
Just
and
an
got
activity to
active.
do.
Yeah. We have a
So-
little basketball court across the street from us, and I think almost every day we heard the basketball
Yeah.
bouncing, which was awesome.
I think it's awesome. You know what I mean?
Tennis, we had a little tennis court, so there was so much activity, and even our beach, we found people were playing volleyball. You've never seen people play volleyball out there and
Yeah.
all that. So I felt like people.
I've seen more Sandlot football games than I've seen in 10 years.
Just outside activities.
Just guys out there throwing a football around and playing.
It
I
was
mean,
cool just to see everyone do something different besides being on their phones and in the house and that kind of stuff. So
Agreed.
the next one is remote working. I think this is a positive for some companies. And what I have here is the note that I wrote is it saved companies money. It's not the most ideal for their culture, but it kept them alive. Kept their company moving forward.
And I argue, like you were talking about this the other day, like it helped improve some people's culture because the employee was happier because it fit into their routine and their lifestyle a lot more. So, yeah, I think that's for sure a big positive.
I mean, depending on the business and the company, I could see where might not be a positive thing for their culture and the way that they're used to operating. But, the majority of the ones that I can think of that, any industry right off the top of my head, I think the other thing, and I could speak for us and our brand and our cafes, I think our franchisees, they kind of realized how lean they can run their restaurant. Some of them who got used to hiring and working 10 to 12 people in a shift have finally realized, like, hey, man, I can do this with half that many people and save on my labor.
For sure.
Or maneuver it to where, they don't have to fire people, but they don't have to run their weekly payroll through the roof. So I think it's a positive thing for the majority of companies. I think another thing that was positive is it forced people to be innovative when they normally wouldn't be. On the tragic side, a lot of people have lost their job. But I think there's a big handful of people that happened to who have been dying to take a leap of faith or dying to do something that they would have never done had this not happened because they were just too scared to do it.
Agreed.
This was my favorite part of the whole COVID, if we had to say like a positive, was that I think it cut ties for some people and gave them the courage because they had no other choice. So they had been, making excuses this entire time, but the universe gave them no choice than to move forward in the direction that they wanted. So I think that's awesome.
We talked about the side hustle.
Side
A
hustle.
lot too. I mean, force people to find ways to make other forms of income. People that got income slash, people that had to take deductions or reduced hours, things like that, had to think outside the box. So for sure.
Think too, in our food industry, it made, I think it was cool how some brands have taken it to the next level of another model of their business. We know a couple here in Wilmington that have done different things, and if they were just dated, just in and out Monday through Friday,
stuck in the rut,
they would have never done it. And I think it's made their businesses even better throughout this and for the future too. And the apps, like how many apps for just all that. I just think it was.
Well, I can come at it from another angle too, as an investor or as somebody who's wanting to invest in a time like this. We can sit here and go back and forth and debate whether it's a good time to invest or not. But, you and I have invested money during this pandemic into other companies and with people that it's helped their business. And without that, I don't know if they would have, what would have they have done if they wouldn't have got that investment, when we can see kind of the potential and what can be.
And I always view that differently because I feel like they just gained. They would have never asked for expertise if they weren't put in that. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
position. So therefore, they were at a tight spot, and it forced them to gain another perspective of their business to help them grow. Hopefully, bigger and better in the years to come.
It's funny you say that, Yvonne, about like the food industry and everything like that. We were on our anniversary dinner on Saturday night at Dram Yard downtown, new boutique, small restaurant, and they've completely changed their business model, and they're doing like a Sunday supper. So prefixed, salad, appetizer, entree. And I think they're doing that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights. But when you think about it in your world, you're like, man, they guarantee that's the only food that I need to bring in for that day. I don't have to bring in my full, catalog and menu of 25 plus different proteins. So I thought that was genius for them. A, they're saving money, and B, they're being a little bit different and still trendy in their own way and bring kind of that old school, like, here's your Sunday supper kind of thing. So pretty cool.
Well, to even do another shout out at Carolina Beach. Are you going to shout out?
No, I was gonna give you guys a stat in a second if you want it.
Oh.
2020 is the most new businesses we've ever had in the country. 800,000 is 100,000 more than
Nice.
ever.
It's pretty cool.
But I was talking to Rodney yesterday from that owns a business in Carolina Beach, and he's doing wine pairings with food with his chef, like private little things. So I thought it was really cool. And I thought, I know that you're supposed to do the next team event, but I might take it for this one. But I told him, like he was doing, you sit down and have your dinner, and then each course they're pairing wine with it, which I thought that's my cup of thing. Like I like, but to think innovative because they didn't have the business at night, but now he's like, oh, we're doing like all these, and it's becoming a thing every Wednesday.
Where can we do that with bourbon?
I might have you.
You need a
asking
You need a
for friends.
dessert bar, Don. I think that's what Don's
Yeah.
dream is.
Dessert and a shot of
Have you
whiskey.
seen those?
Uh-uh.
There's one in Charleston, I believe. It's a dessert bar, and it's high-end cocktails and bourbons and a plethora of desserts.
I would need an insulin syringe when
I couldn't.
But I look
Just
at the guy.
whack
I
three or
look at the
four.
guy across the table from
Right.
us, and he'd crush a good piece of pie and a bourbon.
Or was the majority eater in the last little R&D that we just had about 30 minutes ago?
Yep,
Me?
sure was.
Yeah, you ate
No.
more than anybody. I was like,
Something like that, you'd have to whack 3 or 4 IU of insulin before you walked in and then do it again when you walk out.
You'd be happy though.
Be fat and happy.
What
All
else
right.
you got?
The other one I got is people got more creative. And what I mean by this, I have the dog face ocean spray guy. How many like viral
videos.
social media just because people are that just straight up bored? You have the
point.
ocean spray guy. There was 2 or 3 other ones, and I could not think of them, but he's the one that stuck out the most. I mean, we did a parody of it. It was funnier than hell.
Yeah, there's a lot of sports people that
Yeah.
got out there and just started playing, like you said, playing around with a soccer ball or a hockey stick, and have made tons of money on YouTube just from
The
posting. videos
creative
and everything.
side is, it's just,
I'm
it's
always
just
jealous
awesome.
of people like that because I'm not a social media person. Like, I hate, like, I haven't posted for 2 weeks. Like,
Yeah, what's going
it's
on?
on
with
my,
that?
I know, it's on my tier. I just, but I love people that come up with that stuff. I like admire them for coming up with that because I would like judge myself for at least 3 weeks before I posted it.
Another little cute and cuddly. Pet adoptions rose dramatically.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Stats.
I looked that one up.
You have stats?
I didn't give me a percentage.
Producer Scott, can you look up the stat on that?
Was the official statistic we're looking up here?
There was an organization that they listed, and it said their adoptions were up 30%, but I don't know if it was like a national thing, but I could see that.
Everybody
we
love-
got a dog this year.
We
Everybody
did.
loves a puppy.
Yeah. Well, you had
She's
time
a-
to take care of it and to train it and think about that. Like you
She's
were
a little
home.
savage.
No kennel.
Good
like
point.
for
Think about how many
baby.
families.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
this is the
exactly the
perfect
same.
time.
Yep.
Stay home and train a puppy.
Here's one that you'll relate to, you old bird. Drive-ins made a comeback.
Where's there a drive-in around
So
here?
the University of North Carolina Wilmington, they're doing like a Friday night
Really?
driving on the side of one of their buildings. Yeah, it's funny you say that. Like Brittany was
awesome.
talking about it the other day.
That means the amount of rub-downs is skyrocketing.
Oh,
Was that out loud?
yeah.
Pam heard that.
Sorry, Pam. Don't tell me that you never went to the drive-in in Litchfield. I know you guys did.
Yeah, no, I did. I said, where was there driving around here? I didn't know.
Oh. I went to that one time.
I just didn't like.
was
I
skeevy.
love the drive. Like I'm not saying, but like you never went there to watch the real movie, did you?
Hell no, you went there to get a hand job.
Yeah, or
What?
drink beers.
Okay,
Yeah.
I drank beer.
Or smoke
And-
weed.
And
Or get laid.
I guess
You
I
never
was
went
at the
there.
wrong drive-in because I don't
No, you were in Litchfield. It was happening, sister. You were just...
I just was naive, I guess. I was still a was I
teen.
Catholic girl at that time? Maybe.
Mm.
That is true though.
You want to go to the
100% true.
drive-in?
Can I experience what you guys did?
Sure.
Can I be on the receiving end?
I mean,
Sorry, Pam.
Pam's going to be like, Ben?
Pam is Ben's mom, right? Everyone knows
Correct.
that right at this time. Okay.
Yep.
Which we met Pam.
You did.
That was a positive thing for
During the
2020.
during the
Yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah, during the pandemic. They wouldn't have been able to come down here if they weren't.
It's very true.
Yeah.
At the time.
I feel like if Pam was here full-time, I'd be like the Eddie Haskell. She'd love me, but she'd hate me.
She'd make you lots of delicious treats, I'm sure.
I think she'd get your shit in order. Maybe.
My own mother couldn't do that. What
Ben's
makes you
dad
think
would.
Pam?
He would. Ben's dad would get you.
Says he wouldn't be able to keep up. He'd have to catch me first. And I'm not fast, but I'm fast enough.
Don't have to be fast. Just gotta be smart.
All right, moving on. We're going to the drive-thru. We're going to the drive-in soon.
Okay. At UNCW.
I mean, I don't care where we go. People read more books in 2020. I did. I've read 4 books this year.
We started
Do you know how long it's been since I read 4 books in 1 year? I was probably 10 or 11. The only reason I did it was because I had to do it for the book club in school.
Now we have a book club at work, and you've read 2 in 2 months, in a
2 in
sense.
2 months.
3. He finished our last one like a month early. The one that Scott's.
Did you finish?
The David Goggins book? I'm halfway done.
He's been reading every night.
I tried to read a
Thousands of
chapter. I read a chapter last night, and I was just wasted last night. I was tired, and I got through 1 chapter, and I'm like, and I couldn't read anymore. The night before, I read like 5 chapters in a row. It was nice. It was cool.
So more reading.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to know how much book sales and stuff. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
No, that's
you're
100%
typing,
true.
aren't you? You're looking it up.
You have to because there's nothing new on Netflix. No new movies. No
Oh, I didn't even put that on here.
like
Do you imagine
Netflix.
how many people do you think binge watched every show on Netflix this year?
Yeah, like
Print books were up 6.4% in the first 9 months of 2020,
there you go.
which is a lot for
That's
print.
a lot for books.
Yeah, no
for
kidding.
print.
Mm.
So when you ran out of Netflix, you read.
People got outdoors more. I mean, that kind of tied into the one about health and fitness. We mentioned that, but, you know, going to parks and going to just being outside and not being cooped up in the house forced people outdoors.
I had to park like literally on the edge of the Appalachian Trail, like cliffs in Georgia when we went hiking, because the normal like state park for the hike, like the trail, was so overcrowded that people were going out to the main street and just kind of like whatever side of the road they could park on. 100%, I saw it firsthand. It was insane.
When we went to Salt Lake, we were hiking, and same thing. It was a hike to get to the trail before you started. The
Oh,
trail.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That trail was crowded that day.
It was.
They're all
packed.
like, I think they're like still like that. They were like that, you know, in the summer during COVID, and I mean that's huge for the state park system.
But I think it made people learn something new too. You know, we never would have hiked before, and we did. And
No, it was great.
you hiked
It was a
before?
good time.
I mean, you are sitting beside 2 Eagle Scouts.
Oh, is that both of you? Oh, okay.
Sorry, we both have hiking in our blood.
I have the merit badge.
Huh. Okay. Move on. What's the next one?
Damn, man.
I just dated myself. Damn it.
No love. They don't not think we're cool.
Man.
Sorry.
All right, the last one on my list I think is the most important one, and it's going to be argued. They'll laugh at this one probably because of the other side of this one, but it improved people's 3-foot game, and you're going to know what I mean by 3-foot game. It improved this, talking to people and being face-to-face and having a conversation with people, because despite all of the negativity that you see online and you see in the news, I mean, you can watch that shit and the world's coming to an end. It's burning down. We're going to be a socialist, communist country in 2 months. You know, the Chinese are going to invade our beaches. If you close all that shit and you turn it off and then you go outside, the world is not as bad as what it is painted out to be. You know, is there problems? Absolutely. I'm not denying the fact that there's not problems. I'm not denying the fact that, you know, there's no racism in our country. There absolutely is. But predominantly, for the most part, people are nice to other humans for the most part. That stuff exists. I'm not denying that. So people are going to go, well, how the hell can you say that when racism is at the forefront of our, you know, our news and it's the number one issue right now? I know that. I understand that. All I'm saying is I think it's being portrayed a little excessively online and a little excessively in the media, where if you would just put all that shit down and go talk to somebody, we're going to solve a lot of problems that way. We are. We've had another podcast about this. We brought Matt Lynch into this, and the whole point of that podcast was to bring a positive light to that very subject.
Right.
Right when all of this shit started happening, was the point of that was if you would just have a genuine conversation with somebody, even if you disagree. I mean, we have the best staff in the world right here in this building, in my opinion. We don't all agree on the same things when it comes to politics and, core value, or, what's the word I'm looking for? The
church and state.
Yeah, the pinch points of what people look for, whether you agree with abortion, or all that stuff.
Right.
All of us have different opinions, but it doesn't reflect the way that we treat each other. So I think that I feel, and I've seen this firsthand, so I put this on here, I think that it's made people genuinely have more conversation than what they normally would.
Well, I think if you lock anybody up in their house for 3 months were we on lockdown or ish, and I know every state was different, but like it took you away from your friends and your family and everything. So then when you did see them, you appreciated them and was grateful to have a conversation with those. So I think, again, when you take something away, you realize what you had and took for granted with all that. So I think keeping everyone in the house to where, we couldn't see each other, we did our little group, but before that we were, not, and it was, you missed what you don't have. So I feel like people
that comes full circle. That was the very
care.
first one we mentioned. Was it made you grateful for what you have versus what you didn't have?
Made you appreciate your relationships and be present, I feel.
For sure. I mean, we talked about July 4th of this past year where, we were lucky enough to be in a town where they had some fireworks, but we all said that was one of the best 4th of Julys we've had in a long time. And all we literally did was just sit in a big oval on beach chairs, like literally all day long and talk.
Yeah, it was great.
It was my favorite 4th of July ever.
Yep.
Like nothing
fancy. It just was company and
exactly.
Just
we sat there long time past the fireworks. It's awesome.
Well, that's a good point to wrap this up, guys. I hope positive things have happened to you in 2020 the way that they have for us around here. And first podcast in the new studio, I wanted all positive vibes, and I think we did that. So if you wouldn't mind, the best way that we can grow the Clean Truth Podcast is if you shared it with a friend, gave us a review, whatever it is, even if it's like, Ben, your hair is gray and you suck. Don, you're fat and you stink. Red,
You better be positive.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about that. Whatever. Just shoot us a review, share the podcast with a friend, and see you next time.